Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Infinite Trade. My name is Robin, and let's do our Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for tomorrow. So today, what happened in the market is just a pause. Like last Friday, we saw that Nifty and Bank Nifty both fell heavily, and today we saw the market taking a little pause. So what should be the next trend is something which we'll discuss upon. And if you look at, sorry. If you look at the daily candle, right now in Nifty, we have a doji type of candle, which is an indecision candle. And similarly, in Bank Nifty, we have a small doji kind of a pattern. However, Bank Nifty has taken 35,400 resistance seriously, and it did not even manage to stay above it. So we'll now just discuss what should be our plan for tomorrow. So firstly, we'll check the data. Okay, so this is the participant wise open interest, and so there is some interesting things on the data here. So the first thing is FIs have added some long positions in future, and they have added double shorts in index future. Okay, and secondly, if we look at the options, today they do not have any aggressive position. However, they have shorted some puts and calls, which indicates a sideways market with slightly slightly bullish. And if we look at pros, they have some good quantity of put shorts. Again, this is not the kind of quantity that pros usually take. This is just half of it. So yesterday, if you remember, we saw call short about 1,20,000 or 1,30,000, something like that. And today we just see half of it, and this is put short. So market has taken a short-term support. When I say short-term support, it doesn't mean that for a month or two, something like that, but at least for a couple of days. So 16,400 for Nifty and around 35,000 for Bank Nifty. So both of them have taken a halt here and expected that okay, market should take a halt and maybe consolidate further, or maybe give a slight up move. So whatever it is, we'll discuss that in our price action. And but overall, FI's index future position still remains negative, with almost 85,900 future shorts and just about 44,000 future long. So this still indicates bearishness. However, what is interesting is for the past few days, I've seen FIIs constantly building up some strong positions in stock futures, which indicates that over a period of time you may see some good momentum on the upside. So that is what it indicates. But nevertheless, they have continuously selling in the cash market, and they have also sold today in the cash market for about close to 2,400 crores. So overall, if we look at the participant wise open interest, what it indicates is another day of consolidation with slightly bullish stance, but again that depends on the opening of the market tomorrow. So rest all things we'll discuss in the price action, and meanwhile we'll also check the option chain. The put call ratio values are still not that great. That is one of the reason is because we discussed this in our yesterday's video that after the huge fall on Friday, definitely as and when the market tries to go up, especially when FIs and pros had to book their profits because they had call short and put long, and if they have to book it, as and when it moves up, we'll see retailers selling the call options, and that may create some volatility and that may create some sideways market is something which we discussed yesterday, and that's what happened today. So Now the T5 500, if you see, we can see some exit in the call side. So if you look at the option chain, this is a little weird. Why weird? Because in the money put options, we can see good amount of exit, and out of the money call options, we can see some good amount of exit. Okay, so this is a little strange. That means the market has some scope to go on the upside, is what we can make out from the option chain. And if you see, the premiums are also not that less, so there was no point in exiting this position until and unless they feel that the market can move on the upper side. So this is in case of bank nifty, whereas in nifty, if we see, we can see in the money exits in the put options, but nothing significant in the call options like that we see in bank nifty. So looking at these things, looks like bank nifty may try to perform well tomorrow. So let's see how it works. And now we are back on the charts. Let's discuss the charts first. I'm not sure why the lights are not coming up. Okay, let's first discuss nifty. So nifty opened here and closed somewhere at the same place. That's why we have a doji kind of candle. And see, these levels I have already marked, and these are very important at the moment. So 16700 is definitely a stiff resistance, because from here is where the fall started. Okay, so we'll not forget this level. And similarly, this entire place is going to be a resistance area. So we may feel that it's 100 points, but definitely I'm not interested to trade in this range. If at all nifty opens gap up and starts trading here, I'm not really interested. So maybe day after tomorrow, when it breaches 16700, is I'll change my view and I'll become bullish. So firstly, we need to understand the trend. So if we look at the 2 days trend, what we can see is we saw a fall, and this is the pullback that we can see. Okay, and whether it needs to be change its trend, or whether it can go again back to the bearish mode, is for that we need to break this particular low, which is around 16,444. Okay, so if this low is taken off, is when we'll confirm that okay, we are still bearish. But for this, we have a lot of space. This is almost about 180 points, so a lot of room left. So on the downside we have 180 points, and on the upside we have about 100 points, and this entire area can turn out to be dangerous. Okay, so if we enter here, so what we can do is, suppose tomorrow if we open flat and we break this particular trend line, okay, and immediately will not enter, but we'll have a level with us. So what is that level? Let me just quickly check. So the low of this range, which is around 16,555. Okay, so once the trend line breaks after flat opening, so flat open, trend line break, so we'll be ready to be on the put side. Okay, we'll be ready, and once it closes below 16,550 is when we'll definitely enter onto the put side, and definitely our first target would be somewhere close to 16,450. Okay, so that means open within this level and breaking this particular range is when we'll plan put. Secondly, in case market opens gap up, okay, so we discussed about flat opening, and what if it starts to move up? So in case if this level gets broken, definitely it will approach 16,700, but that momentum will be slow and steady like the one it happened today. So it will be very difficult for us to actually buy option and sit for a profit. Okay, so I'm not interested in this place, so I'll just maybe sit and watch. So in case of a gap up, say it is opening somewhere around this place, 16680 or 690. I think this is going to be the best place to buy a put, because you just have to put a small stop loss, maybe 10 to 20 points, and you can expect it to fall until this place. Okay, so from 680 to 560, almost it's 120 points. So these are the two places where we'll buy put. So why are we only focusing on put, wherein we have FIs and pros selling more of puts rather than calls? It is because if the market opens with a gap up or something like that, definitely they'll try to book their profits, and FIs do not have significant positions, and looking at that, pros would try to book their profits and put sell that they have, because they have seen, or they might see that FIs have added a lot of future shorts. So that is one of the reason why they'll book it. So keeping in mind, in case of a gap up, we'll definitely buy a put here, and this should be our first target. Okay, so we discussed gap up, we discussed flat opening. What about opening gap down? So if it opens below 16,550, then definitely expect that things are not really good, and even pros will start exiting or covering their positions, and that itself will bring the market down to this place. So if it is opening a little gap down around 550 or below that, we'll just see for it to react like this, and once it shows a sign of reversal, we'll buy a put here. Okay, so no call at least for tomorrow. Let's see if we can do that day after, if they give us a strong closing. So this is all about Nifty. Let's quickly discuss Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty was also volatile and not really that great if you would have bought a call option. I'm not sure why my lines are not coming up, but just to show you all, this is a strong resistance, okay, which is around 35,600. So above this, Bank Nifty may start traveling on the higher side. Until this place, we will only think about put. And in an intraday level, this is an important level. Let me just show you all what is that. It's around 35,210. Okay, so 35,210. If it breaks, definitely we are going to test 35,000 once again. And if we see that if it opens flat and if it breaks this particular high, okay, then we do not have much of a room, but we can see 200 points on the upper side, but again that will be like slow and steady. So not really sure if a call buy would give us that kind of a profit or not, because these nobody would have actually come out from the selling climax that happened on Friday, and it becomes a little difficult. So again, in Bank Nifty also, we'll try and avoid the upside trade in case if it opens flat and breaks on the upper side. But definitely around 35,600, if it reaches, we'll buy a put for a small target of maybe around 150 to 200 points fall in Bank Nifty. And in case it opens gap up around 35,600, this is also a good place to buy a put with a small SL, maybe around 20 to 25 points, and you can expect to fall until 35,300. So a good 300 points movement is something which we can expect. So where are the place we'll buy put? So 35,210 is put, and 35,600 is put when we see market at this place. And at this place we are not interested, and in this place we are not interested. Okay, let's quickly discuss about gap down. So here also we can see that there is a trend line which is being followed. So if it breaks this trend line and starts coming down, we'll be vigilant, and once it closes below 35,210 is definitely we'll go and buy a put for a target of 35,000. And so precisely it's 34,960, but we'll book it around 35,000 and then maybe 34,800. Okay, so this is all about Nifty and Bank Nifty for tomorrow. The data seems to be slightly bullish, but whether they continue the bullish stance or not is something which we'll have to see tomorrow. And you can definitely check that on the option chain to see if they are bullish. Definitely they'll write more puts, and you may see some significant changes in the put call ratio. So keep a watch on it. Thanks for watching. Let's meet tomorrow in another video. And just to tell you all, I did not run the algo today because I was working on it, and that was really important. And just to maintain the data that we are doing it, if we would have run the algo today, we would have definitely made a loss of 3,000 rupees. Okay, so that's the reason I'm not putting a separate video, and I'm just mentioning here that we would have made a loss of 3,000. And this is something which I'll be mentioning it on a Friday when we just track our weekly performance. I'll just mention it, though we did not accept that loss today because we did not run the algo. But to be very frank, we would have made a loss of 3,000 today. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.